Let's do this. You're in a comfortable place. You've got your cup of tea and all that ready?
I'm comfortable enough. I've just been travelling since like 8 o'clock this morning, but I'm still halfway to my destination.
Wow. Where are you travelling to, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm going from Ballycotton to Berlin.
Whoa. All right then.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeez.
Yeah.
Definitely going places physically and metaphorically.
Yeah.
That's good. Right. Well, let's get this bad boy on the road, shall we? No.
Let's go for it.
I'm delighted to be joined by someone now who truly does not need an introduction. Unless you've been living under a rock for the last, 6-7 months, it would be hard-pressed to not know who this is. He has topped the Irish charts. He's been in the Irish airplay all over the country. He has recently played Electric Picnic. There's so much amazing things going on, and he had, of course, received recognition from the likes of Elton John back in the day. I am joined by none other than Moncrieff. How are you doing, man?
How are you?
Amazing. So good. I honestly, I have about 1,000 questions here. I have a notepad with only so much ink in my pen, so I'm going to try and keep this as brief as possible. But Moncrieff, before we get to the incredible, unbelievable, blooming success that you're having in your music career now, I'd love to take it back. I'd love to describe to a listener who doesn't know kind of where you come from. And I have done a little bit of research myself, but I'd love for you to fill in the blanks and the stories and things like that. You were interested in music, I presume, grew up with music, and then at 19 made this decision of, you know what, I'm going to commit to this, and decided to uproot and move. What was that like?
I mean, it was absolutely nerve-wracking. I think I was quite confident going into it. I'd never moved to London. I'd never been in London at all before, and I remember I spent the first day there. I got there with my mum, as you do, and I was walking around down the streets of the place where I was living and trying to get some groceries and different bits, and everybody was so unfriendly, and it was so wet and cold and miserable. And I remember I finally got into my rental place that night, and we didn't have nothing had arrived yet from my room, so it was like I was sleeping, lying on the bed, my mum in a sleeping bag, myself in a sleeping bag, and I was like, I've made a terrible mistake.
No.
But I stuck with it, and there's been some really, really difficult times. So I wouldn't change anything, you know.
I mean, like a lot of people, I'm going to throw myself in that category as well, would have absolutely been like, you know what, let's just get the first plane home in the morning. This isn't for me.
Yeah.
But you stuck it out. And like,
my mum was like, she was saying, do you know what, just give it 3 weeks, you know.
Yeah.
And let me know how you get on. Yeah.
Good old mammy. It's great that she was there. That was brilliant of her, in fairness. Was London always on the cards for you when you decided music, and how did it end up being for you as an experience overall?
I think when I first decided to do the music thing, London was the obvious kind of choice, because I got into music kind of late. I only really got into music when I was like 18, and like I needed to get a lot better, a lot faster. And London kind of provided that opportunity. And it was challenging. Like, I mean, I was working in a Asian restaurant for a good year, like making £6.30 an hour, and trying to go to as many open mics as I could. But I think, like, when you're doing something you love, like, you don't worry about, like, the bad days aren't as bad, you know. And yeah, I wouldn't have regretted it at all. Like, it was really difficult. But then after a while, I started to kind of find my feet, and I started to work with different producers and find my voice as an artist. And it just became something that, like, London became a new home to me, really.
And honestly, I didn't realize that you just picked it up at 18. Like, had you ever played a guitar, a piano, sat behind drums, singing? Like, what was it?
Well, like, I know I couldn't play. I could barely play piano now. No, but I took it up quite late because I don't know. I mean, growing up in this kind of small town in Waterford, and it's quite it's quite a small town mentality, and the only avenues to do music down there were to either do the local school musical or join the local choir. And for a guy that's kind of playing hurling and doing other bits and just wants to fit in secondary school, like that was quite a risky thing to do. And I did do it, and I did get a lot of stick from it from people in my school. But I only started to do music properly when I was around 18. Yeah.
God, that is incredible. I'm processing it, but look, obviously you're insanely talented, and I want to get to that show that you're able to deliver that performance, because it really is like none other. I'm sure you've talked about this 1,000 times before, but like getting that recognition, that Elton John thing of like, watch this space, you know, this kid's going somewhere. And then on top of that, backing vocals for Adele. I mean, these are huge industry names. And what was it like as someone who probably grew up maybe listening to this music or whatever, to just suddenly be like, right, I'm doing music, I'm moving, and now clearly something is working for me?
Yeah, I mean, well, like the Elton John thing and the Adele thing are both quite mind-blowing. I remember, I think when I released my first song, I got an email from the people that I was working with at the time that were kind of almost like a small little record label, saying that like Elton John has been listening to your stuff and he's going to play it on his radio show on the Rocket Hour and give you a shout out and talk about the song. And I was like, are you joking?
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's and the Adele thing was just as random. Doing backing vocals, it just kind of panned out. But I never in a million years saw that happening within a year or a year and a half of moving to London.
Unbelievable. And so let's, because that's the success of other artists, let's start moving on to the dynasty that you are growing for yourself around the world, and particularly in Ireland, because you bring out Warm a few months ago. It's in the top 10 Irish Play. You're getting around the country airplay. Ruin comes out and everyone's like, okay, this was not just a flash in the pan, this wasn't a fluke, and all you're doing is solidifying everybody who believed in you as like, 100% worth the investment, worth the time. And then you've even brought out now your EP, September 2nd, Warm, and just what a fantastic project that you threw together. And I think from my point of view as a listener and as a supporter, I think represents you so well. It shows your range, it shows your dynamics, your writing, which is always so rooted and grounded in how you feel. And so as someone who kind of just turned to this at 18 years of age and somehow just having this sound, did it take you long to find it, or were you always just like, no, I want to use this as a form of major expression for how I feel?
I've always struggled with kind of finding a sound, in inverted commas. I think that can be kind of dangerous for an artist to feel like they just have to make music in a certain box, and like I've kind of struggled. And I think like a lot of my music before that, like the EP I put out before, is quite varied. I just think, this EP came together as a result of COVID, really, and as a result of like, I was quite unsure whether I wanted to keep going and keep pushing this rock up this hill. And like, Warm, I ended up writing Warm in my mate's bedroom, like in the middle of lockdown, and it kind of the penny kind of dropped that like, all I really want to do at this point is just to write simple, like emotional and kind of honest songs, and songs that people can relate to when we're all going through stuff.
And dare I say, you definitely succeeded at that. You don't need me to tell you that. You can definitely see your success and the hugely growing fan base that you've been accruing for yourself over the years, but particularly in even just the last 1 year, it seems like you're a firework, you're going up, and it just seems like there's no end to it. And along the way, you're putting on this amazing show. I have to ask, what was it like to perform at Electric Picnic?
Oh man, it was one of these kind of, I don't know, bucket list moments, really. I was a bit nervous, simply because I wasn't supposed to play the main stage. I got a call. I was actually supposed to play the Electric Arena, and I got a call on Thursday saying, "Oh, would you like to move up to the main stage?" And I was a bit nervous. I was like, "Oh God, like no one's gonna turn up. I better just stick to the Electric Arena, and if it rains, people will have to come see my show." But we decided to go for it and see how it turned out, and I'm really glad we did, because like I did never expected so many people to turn up to the show. So yeah, it was something that I won't forget definitely for a long time.
It seems to be something that not a lot of people will forget, if I'm honest, because the feedback we've been getting is that you actually stole the show. Like, people in a heartbeat who I've been talking to personally and professionally have just been saying they will, get a ticket and see you, because they said what you delivered at Electric Picnic was unbelievable. They said you were the best by far. And this isn't me trying to build you up or anything. This is just genuine, responses and reports that I've been getting.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I'm raging that I haven't seen you live, because every footage that I see of you, I don't think there's a single photo or video where you're just standing still. Like, you are so entertaining, you're so energetic, and you seem to just throw that to the crowd and they live off it as well. And it just seems to be like, it's not like people are coming to see you, it's almost like you're going to see them, and like it's just you all meet together in the middle, and it's amazing to see. And not many acts have that. Your music and how you deliver it is just, it's a package all in its own that no one else seems to be able to deliver. And so while we're on the topic of tickets, I want to break down a timeline. I went onto your Facebook. Yes, I was stalking you. Went onto the Facebook, right? And I noticed that I want to break this down for the listener, right? On Thursday, September 8th, you put up a post saying that pre-sale tickets were live at 12:51 p.m. September 9th, the very next day on Friday, at 5:43 p.m, you put up a post saying that the 3Olympia had sold out. Did you ever expect that to happen?
Not on the day, no. It was, like, that's still something that I'm just like, what the hell is that about? Need to recount those tickets. But, like, we... I thought, I had a feeling that I might get a few people to come down eventually, but to have the demand there is something that you kind of dream about, and so it's something I'm just kind of coming to terms with. Really, it's actually mad.
I mean, selling out the entire 3Olympia within 24 hours is just, it obviously takes the greats to do it, and hopefully, you're able to realise that, you definitely have what it takes if you're able to do that. Not many acts can say that in their entire music career, so it's definitely going for you, my man. And it seems like there doesn't seem to be breaks on the Moncrieff train. It seems like you're just knocking out hit after project after arena and tours. What is next for you?
Well, I've got quite a busy September. I've got a couple of shows like in Germany, and I'm just gonna like try do some more right. Really want people to enjoy this EP, and hopefully like I can keep it going. And I'm just got a couple more surprises in store like over the next couple of weeks, and I'm putting out another single before the end of the year.
Ooh.
And another project hopefully early next year, and then that's all I'm going to say for now.
Jeez, where do you get the time? Do you actually get to relax in between all this?
You sleep when you're dead. Yeah, that's it, really.
Wow, bold words, but I appreciate, I respect it. I respect it, Moncrieff. Well, look, thank you so much for taking the time to be able to chat. And obviously, all of the tickets for your European tour and any dates that are possibly available, where can people get them?
You can get them on Ticketmaster. Just search it up, or come onto my Instagram, have a look. There's some tickets to the left for Belfast, which is going to be fun. And then across Europe, yeah.
Beautiful. Well, look, Moncrieff, thank you so much for taking the time, and best of luck in all of the living the dream that you are doing.
Thank you so much for having me.